Now, Andy McPhee called you relentless and unstoppable. What was that like?
Oh, that was actually one of my first few podcasts, and of course, back then I was kind of always nervous and everything. So, but I never during that podcast, I did the podcast at that time. I never knew who Andy McPhee was at that time. But then after we had the show and recorded everything, it's like, oh, you're Andy McPhee. And so, oh yeah. He's like, yeah. You did great in the interview and everything like that. And I would love to be able to support you in any way I can. So like after that, it was like, cool. Like he even did a video endorsement of my book series. So wow. It worked out in that way. Now I never imagined that would have happened, but from an experience like that, I mean, everything happens with divine time, and sometimes you meet the right people at the time that you're meant to meet them. And in that particular situation, it happened that way. And I mean, I think that was a big help too in terms of promoting the Hero from the Hood series a lot too, getting him to actually do a video endorsement and things like that, and being able to use it as a promotional item too. And I mean, he's a cool guy. He still supports me to this day.
Well, I'm not going to drop a dime, but I'm going to drop a 50-cent piece. You also was on a set, I believe, with Tom Hanks. What was that like?
So that actually was, we did like I just recently recorded a show in Pittsburgh. It's called a Neighborly Review Bookcast, and it actually features the character who played Mr. McFeely. His name's David Newell. So he does the interviews for that particular show. So I was in Pittsburgh doing that, and so after the show, after we recorded and everything, he actually took all the studio staff and all of us out to eat at this restaurant. Mm-hmm. The restaurant actually was featured in the movie, the Mr. Rogers movie. And so, like, after we had finished eating, I was like, telling the staff, I was like, yo, David, tell, hey, we were talking and everything. I was like, yeah, I would like to get a chance to get in the actual movie booth that the movie was, put into, and, take a couple of promo shots with Hero from the Hood and everything. So, the staff they actually cleared the table and got the table set for me and let me actually sit in the booth that was featured in that movie and do some promo shots with my book. And I thought that was so cool to be able to have that experience. And I think David and stuff, that was definitely a good day. That's going to be premiering on April Tuesday, whatever this coming Tuesday is. That's going to premiere this coming Tuesday, where they'll have that. It's called the Neighborly Review Bookcast. And I'm
definitely going to be bringing you back as soon as I see that. You also look, now I know a celebrity, so hey. You also have a radio show. Tell me more about the show.
So my radio show is actually about talking about